welcome to the Aligned Life podcast. This is Nicole, and together we're going to be diving into all things wellness, personal development, mindset, yoga, meditation, money mindset, all of those things. So if any of those interest you, please stay around. And if you are also interested in creating a life of more abundance and freedom, which is my ultimate goal, I have also created a 7-day Abundance Now program. You can find the link to that in my bio on my Instagram account at aligned.life. I hope that I can inspire you guys to live a life that's in alignment with your deepest desires. So with that, let's dive into today's topic. Okay, so let's talk about this gratitude thing. I honestly hated this topic for a very long time. When I first got into the personal development world, whatever you want to say, I was reading books, I was going to all the events, blah, 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 and everyone was always talking about gratitude and creating like a practice for gratitude and tapping into gratitude and everything around gratitude. And when you start to look into things like how to be more successful, how to grow a business, all this kind of stuff, entrepreneurial stuff, personal development stuff, there's all these like secrets that people are like, I have the secret and I'll tell you what it is. And then you go and you're all excited because you think that they're going to tell you this amazing thing. And then they end up talking about like gratitude for like 50 minutes of like the hour talk. Yeah. So I was that person that every single time someone started talking about having a gratitude practice, I was like, okay, can we just like skip to the actual part that's going to like help me? I ignored this for so long because I was just like, okay, gratitude honestly cannot be that transformational. Like there's no way. So hence my life journey of avoiding gratitude practices. Here I am, full circle, talking about how gratitude is probably one of the most important techniques that I've come across that help you really have a positive mindset. And heaven knows that when I was practicing gratitude the most and had like a morning practice that was heavily focused around gratitude, a lot of things in my life were going a lot better. And as soon as I fell off of that practice, a lot of things in my life started to go in the opposite direction. So, is there a connection there? I, admittedly, sadly, stubbornly would have to say yes, because I have literally watched how it's affected my life within probably the past 2 years. So if you're one of those people that roll your eyes when you hear about how transformational gratitude practices can be, then I feel you, I was you, and I stubbornly tried to be you for a very long time. So I would encourage you to maybe try it out this time and just, give it a run and see what happens. So with my dive into personal development and everything that I've invested in, programs, courses, events, whatever you want to say, I've been to a lot of them, and I've learned a lot around why gratitude. I've said gratitude 50 times in this podcast. If you count how many times I say it, I apologize because it's so annoying. But why this practice is so important and how I've come to learn why it's so important is because of how it affects your mindset. Mindset is a big word right now. There's a lot of people talking about it, and having a specifically positive mindset is a huge thing in regards to success and just being happy in general. If you have listened to my podcast on the science of manifestation, this will all make a lot more sense as to how all of this correlates. I, of course, like the topic says, go into the science of manifestation. So if you are someone who has a very practical way of thinking, I would have us to go and listen to that episode because I can't go into everything in this one. To summarize it, Like energy attracts like energy, and when you are grateful, you are attracting that same energy into your life. So if you want to be happy, you need to focus and cultivate a practice where you are tapping into the things that make you happy. Gratitude is all about focusing on that of which we appreciate. So, if everything in the world is made up of energy, we are constantly attracting like energy to us. So, put bluntly, if you want to be more happy, you need to focus on being happy. And there's a lot of studies that go to show your thinking habits are really just habit loops that we all get caught in. And it's why we struggle to get out of a bad mindset because we just have the habit of thinking in a negative way. And if you don't work on trying to change those thoughts that you're constantly thinking, then the energy that you're going to be attracting is also not going to change. You may have some nice things happen here and there that you're like, cool, that was awesome, but it's not going to be anything that's going to really stick. So, when you can develop practices that help you support noticing things that you're grateful for and how you can appreciate everything that's already around you, then you'll really start to see the things around you start to shift. The more gratitude in your life, the more that we don't take things for granted, the more that we appreciate everyone and everything around us. And it is the biggest catalyst towards really reprogramming your mind to be happier. So, with that, there is a lot of different practices that I have come to like in the past. Like I said, I'm the first one to call myself out, and I have been highly slacking on a lot of these practices lately. So, if there's anything that I know I need to focus on, it is definitely these. So, putting together this list is more of a reminder for myself. And also, hopefully, it will inspire you guys to maybe try it out for once. The first and the most easiest way to practice gratitude is by getting some type of gratitude journal. You don't have to have a journal that has prompts. You can just have a blank journal and pull some gratitude prompts from the internet. Like, honestly, they're everywhere. So just do a Google search, get on Pinterest, and type in gratitude affirmations, gratitude questions, and just take 5 minutes out of your day and write down the things that you're grateful for. It helps you to switch your focus to something more positive and really helps to change your mood and get you out of kind of whatever funk you've been in. Like I said, when things were seeming to be going really well in my life, it was when I had a morning practice. I would literally wake up every single day, take 5 to like 15 minutes to write in my journal, and just think of things that I was grateful for first thing in the morning. Also, not to get too scientific-y here, but there is a lot of studies that encourage you to do these practices first thing in the morning because that is when your brain's just waking up for the day. It's the most malleable and it's the easiest way to kind of set your mood in the right tone for the rest of the day. When you're in the middle of the day, you kind of have all the things that are hitting you throughout the day and you're a little bit more overwhelmed and tired, and it's harder to create a mental change when you're kind of in the midst of everything that's happening. So, first thing in the morning is recommended because your mind's more clear, you're a lot more settled. And in the complete opposition of that, the next best time to do these practices is right before you go to bed because it has the same benefits as when you just wake up in the morning. In that sleepy state, you're more relaxed and willing to take in the information that you're working on. So, if you can have some type of bedtime meditation or gratitude practice, that also is a really big game changer because how you go to sleep and things you focus on right before you go to bed are the same things that come up for you right when you wake up in the morning. And along with this podcast, I just created a bedtime gratitude meditation on my YouTube channel that I put out yesterday. So So if you are looking for a bedtime meditation, then I do have that up on my Aligned Life by Nicole YouTube channel. So go look at that if you are looking to dive into this kind of practice and needing a little bit of guidance. And also, I will tell you that one of the biggest hiccups that I've had in regards to continuing this practice was thinking that I either had to have a meditation or I had to have a physical journal with me. There's a lot of mindset blocks that we kind of put up around certain situations of how we can create these environments and habits, but ultimately, the most important part is the resilience to just keep on doing the practice. So what I mean by this is I used to wake up in the morning, grab my journal, and do my journal prompts for gratitude. And if I ever stayed at my friend's house, my parents' house, my boyfriend's house, and I wasn't able to wake up and have that journal with me, I didn't do the practice. Which you can say that's valid, but if you really want a habit that you want to keep up with, you really want to be able to be adaptable with how you can implement it into your life. So what that would look like is if you get up in the morning and you're like, I don't have my journal, I can't do my gratitude practice. It's like, no, Nicole, you can still do your practice. Go somewhere quiet, sit down for a moment, get silent, and just go over what you're grateful for, in your mind. I used to be so stuck to the idea that I had to have a pen and paper to write it down in order to do my practice. But all you really need is to sit down with yourself and have an inner dialogue. Because how you speak to yourself, whether or not it's out loud or in your mind, is so important. And you need to encourage yourself to keep up with your habits and not let them slip just because the environment may be different. But honestly, I made so many excuses for myself within this past year of being in a relationship, and I did not follow up with the things that I knew that I needed to do to be in a positive mindset. So yeah, I would just encourage you to have accountability for yourself, allow these practices to shape into whatever they need to be. Make sure that you're serving yourself and what you need so that you can show up for everyone else and give them the best part of you because you're giving yourself the best part of you as well. So, with that, for the millionth time, just wanted to say gratitude is so important. So, if you haven't tried to implement any of these practices into your daily life, I would highly recommend that. And if you do, after listening to this podcast, then please let me know how it's working out for you. But with that, thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you next time. As always, thank you guys for listening. And if you're wanting more content from me, you can follow me on Instagram or TikTok at aligned.life. And I will be releasing new podcasts every Thursday. So if you want to keep in touch, please do. And I hope you have an amazing night, day, morning, whatever it may be for you. So we'll talk to you soon.